Broadcasting from the great state of Texas. News and views with a Lone Star perspective. You can sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Or call in at 1-800-687-0790. Now, here's Chad Hasty.
Evening, Lubbock, Amarillo, Abilene, Wichita Falls, Midland, Odessa, Dallas, Fort Worth, down in Houston, over in El Paso, and anywhere else, inside or outside of the great state of Texas, wherever you may be listening on this Monday, March 9th of 2026. We welcome you into the Chad Hasty Show. A lot to talk about on the show today. Hopefully you're having a wonderful day. A lot of tired faces that I've seen today. A lot of folks who are a little groggy after the big time change. And it's a Monday, and well, everyone's kind of getting used to all that kind of good stuff. But we're glad that you've joined us today. Hopefully you had a good weekend, and hopefully it was a nice, relaxing weekend that you got to have. We've got a lot to get into, obviously, with what's happening with Iran. We have that news. We have oil prices coming back down. How about that? Over the weekend, people were going crazy about oil prices and the price of gas. And, well, all of a sudden today, oil prices coming down big time. And we'll get into that, what it may mean moving forward. We've also got Trump talking about how we might be getting close to the end of things when it comes to the U.S. bombing Iran. What that means, nobody knows. But we'll kind of delve into that today. We've got the latest in the U.S. Senate race and the primary runoff. We've got that to get into. Some stories out about James Talarico that we can talk about as well today. And, of course, we've got some other just statewide and national news that we can talk about as well, making headlines throughout the state of Texas. So we want to hear from you. You've heard from everybody else all day long. Now it's your chance, your opportunity to sound off on the issues of the day. How do you do that? It's pretty simple. You can text in at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. When you text in, give us your name, where you're listening from. That way we can give you the proper shout out whenever you text in. You can also reach out to us on the app chat. Just tap the app, whatever station app you're listening to us on, send us a message that way. You can send us a message any time of day on the app chat. Just to have it addressed to the Chad Hasty Show. It'll send it our way. And, of course, you can also reach out to us on social media at Chad Hasty Radio. And then, of course, the old-fashioned way of doing things, it's by picking up the phone and dialing in at 1-800-687-0790. That's 1-800-687-0790. The first voice you hear from when you dial in today, I didn't know if he was going to make it or not. It was about 30 seconds until the show started, and Nick was not over there, but he is there now. Nick, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. In fact, that ties in. You just said we're all a little off.
Yeah.
This time.
Did you forget about the show?
I didn't forget.
Okay.
I never forget. This is the highlight of my day. We know this. But no, waking up. And I've noticed too the dogs.
Yeah.
Okay, the dogs get a little thrown off as well. They normally get me up at about, 6:37.
Right.
Absolutely not. The past 2 days, it was about 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Maybe 8:30. So you know what? I'm going to blame them for me being fashionably late.
That was this morning. You've had hours to.
It takes me a while to recover. From
yeah.
that, okay.
I noticed that no one else is up here this evening. A lot of people
they're sleepy.
Yeah.
You know, it's a Monday. You don't want to.
Is that what it is?
You don't want to overwork yourself.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Yeah, especially with less sleep.
Yeah.
Most likely.
How was your weekend?
It was good. It was fantastic. Had some family visit. Always nice when we get to show them the lovely side of Lubbock. Yeah. Which is fantastic.
What did y'all do? Did you do anything special?
We cooked a lot of great meals. We went around town. Went to any family that comes over. They're not familiar with the HEB.
Okay.
So that is always a staple.
Okay.
We have to visit HEB every time.
Okay.
So we did that, and then it was a lot of relaxing. Went for walks. Played with the dogs a little bit.
Yeah.
A very laid back weekend.
Yeah.
So it was nice.
So you took them to a grocery store.
Correct.
That was your highlight of Lubbock, Texas.
We had a few walks around town.
You went to a grocery store.
Yeah.
We have numerous wineries. There's a lot of stuff to do.
It's overrated. Really.
You went, look, we have a grocery store.
In their defense.
Yeah.
They are Wisconsin natives. Okay, so HEB is foreign.
Yeah.
Right? It's brand new. It's a strange concept, and it's a fun concept.
Yeah.
So it's like a little, you bring your kids to like a water park.
Right.
You bring your parents and other, you bring them to HEB.
Okay.
All right. And they have fun.
Okay. Hey.
So, that was our weekend.
That sounds wonderful. That sounds good.
We made some cookies too, which was good. So.
Yeah. That's nice. That's good.
They love visiting.
You did bring your mom by on Friday.
I did.
It was bring your mom to work day.
It was, and nobody
was
else got the
she up
memo.
here all day? By the way,
a couple hours.
Okay,
she was up here a couple hours. Yeah, hanging out. Got to meet everybody.
She seems very lovely.
Sure.
Seems very nice.
Hey, you should talk to her about HEB. I hear she loves that.
I was reflecting on Friday's show, and I was telling Luke that what we should have done is actually told your mom to wait and bring her on the show and interview her about you.
There you go.
And
would I have been in the room though?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that being a little awkward.
Yeah.
Would I just wait in the hallway?
I don't care.
Okay.
We would
go home.
we would have sent you away and we would have interviewed her.
Sure. I think she would have liked that.
Yeah, I think so.
That would have been nice. That would have been fun.
I think so.
Put her in the studio with you.
Yeah. Just peel back the onion a little bit more.
Yeah, you can try.
Yeah. And figure things out about Nick. And so
did you have a good weekend though?
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. Not too bad.
Yeah.
The time change, it gets to you.
Sure.
But other than that, it's all good. It's all good. By the way, today, according to the fake holidays that are out there, one of the days today, National Get Over It Day. So this is what we ask you, the listeners. What do people in general just need to get over? What is it? Is it maybe Trump being elected? Maybe people need to get over it. Maybe the people who are still complaining about that, get over it. What is it that people just need to get over? You can text in at 806-680-2790. When we come back, your phone calls, your text, and more.
The Titan of Texas Talk Radio, The Chad Hasty Show.
Talking with newsmakers and about the issues that matter to you. The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Chad's show is also digital with the Chad Hasty Show podcast. The Chad Hasty Show podcast can be downloaded on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and the Radio On Demand page on KFYO.com. The Chad Hasty Show, all across Texas during your drive home, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
Pedal to the metal. Greased lightning. Burn rubber. Make tracks. Full gas. Whatever you call it, it's speeding. And a heavy foot can cost you a heavy fine. Or more. Speeding is a factor in more than 150,000 crashes every year in Texas. Many of them fatal. Slow down. Be safe. Drive smart. And take it easy. A message from the Texas Department of Transportation.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Tonight at midnight on KFYO.
On the text line, 806-680-2790. I was wondering, it didn't take long for this one to come in, and I figured it would. Enrique in Lubbock says that people need to get over the 2 time changes each year. They don't bother me. Yeah, I was wondering how long it would take for someone to weigh in with that one. National Get Over It Day. What do people just need to get over? You can text in at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Politico headline out today. We've got to pay attention. GOP anxiety spiking over rising energy prices. Let's see the economic fallout from Trump's decision to go to war with Iran, imperiling GOP's legislative sales pitch ahead of the midterms, with energy price spikes threatening at least some of the pocketbook gains Americans are seeing from sweeping tax cuts Republicans enacted last year. Analysts with the Wall Street advisory and investment firm Everscore estimated Monday that the impact on household costs attributable to the current crisis could create or erase the tax benefit from the big, beautiful bill for at least the bottom 30% of Americans. Well, that depends. They say even if oil prices come off their 100 plus per barrel high. Well, we've seen that already. In fact, you had WTI crude, let's see, what did it end at? $86 a barrel. And so it dropped from yesterday. In fact, it dropped from this morning when it shot all the way up to like $116 a barrel. And you had people flipping out. And what happened? You had some key announcements made. You had ships that started entering the Strait of Hormuz. You had you had Trump say that this is not going to be this war is not going to be going on forever, and you had the price of oil dip back down to below what it was this past Friday. So prices should start coming down. They're not going to come down as fast as they shot up. We've always seen that. Trump out today saying that a little bit of the price increase at the pump is worth it when it comes to peace and security. And if this was something that was going to drag into the midterm elections, then yeah, I could see where there would be some worry about this. But the fact of the matter is, this is not going to go all the way until the midterms. That you're going to have the price of oil back off, which it already has. We could see it back off even more tomorrow. Could happen. And when the U.S. Is actually done carrying out airstrikes against Iran, then we could see it lower even more. The fact is, we don't know what is going to happen between now and the midterms. But you know, the price of gas, I don't think that's going to be the main decision point when it comes to voters and how people cast their ballots. You know, this idea that this war in Iran, you have the media trying to say that this is wrong and this is a terrible war, except that when you actually look at it, we are weakening Russia, or we're weakening China, we're weakening obviously the biggest backer of terrorism in the Middle East. These are good things. These are good things. Now, the Democrats can whine and cry about how Iran posed no threat to the American people. But at the same time, you're putting out these stories about sleeper cells being activated in the United States. Well, if Iran's really no threat to the American people, why do they have sleeper cells in the United States? Answer that. You know, if there's really no worry and Iran can't hurt us and Iran can't hurt the American people, why is it that we're so worried about the sleeper cells now that are popping up? And we've seen these stories coming out a lot lately. So yeah, the Iranians did pose a major threat to the United States, posed a major threat to our allies and our interest overseas. And I think the U.S. is doing one hell of a job right now. The U.S. and Israel. No one else is jumping in the game with us. They should be. The Europeans should be right there with us on this. But they're not. You can send in your thoughts on the text line 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. And you can get in on those issues if you'd like to talk about the fallout from Iran, which we're continuing to see, and the spike in gas prices. Yeah, it stinks. Nobody likes it. Nobody likes going out right now and paying more for gas. But at the same time, it's a little bit of pain right now for what will hopefully be a very good future in the Middle East. 806-680-2790. Let's see. Phil weighed in out in Amarillo. People should get over themselves. Not every opinion has substance or has importance. You're one opinion among millions. Very good. You can text in 806-680-2790 if you want to weigh in on any of that. The Save America Act, number one priority. This is out of the folks over at Politico. Trump telling Republicans earlier today. Trump told the House Republicans Monday to pass major partisan elections bill a third time with new provisions, saying that it should be the GOP's number one priority ahead of the midterm elections. Quote, it'll guarantee the midterms, Trump told lawmakers gathered at his golf resort. If you don't get it, big trouble. In my opinion, the president spent 13 minutes at the close of a nearly hour-long address making crystal clear that he expects Speaker Mike Johnson and other top leaders to meet his demands. House has already passed two versions of what is now called the Save America Act. It would institute through new citizenship and photo ID requirements for voting. Trump asked the gathered lawmakers to add in provisions curbing mail-in voting and targeting transgender rights, even though it means abandoning the remainder of their legislative agenda before the November elections. Quote, let's go for gold, he said. It's actually a matter of a very serious way of national survival. We can't have these elections going on like this anymore. The already passed version of the Save America Act is awaiting a Senate vote. Senate Majority John Thune has committed to calling it up, but is certain to be blocked by Democrats under the chamber's 60-vote filibuster threshold. Some conservatives, with Trump's backing, looking to sidestep that obstacle with a talking filibuster, would force Democrats to hold the floor. Thune and other Senate Republicans are skeptical it would work without a rules change, but Trump said Monday failure is not an option. Just, this idea of, well, we've got to have a rules change for it. How do you know you have to have a rules change? Just do it. That or get rid of the filibuster and pass what is needed in order to make sure elections are secure in America. Again, all this would do it's a voter ID. It would make sure that you are a U.S. citizen when you're registering to vote. That's it. It's not a big deal. Democrats act like this is the end of the world. I wonder why. But all this would do is say, okay, when you register to vote, you got to go and you have to prove that you are who you are, that you were born here in the United States. That should not be too much to ask for when you're getting out and voting, or when you are registering to vote. Shouldn't be too much to ask for. You know, the one thing that people are going to have to do is, make sure that that voters are registered and ready to go. But this idea that it's going to be hard on people to prove this, or that voter ID is somehow hard on people, it's not. You show your ID and you go. Not tough. When we come back, your phone calls, your text, and more on the Chad Hasty Show.
The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays 5 to 7 p.m. Sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790.
Let's be honest. The National Symphony may not be in his future, but he wanted to try violin. So you said yes because you love him. And if you love him that much, love him enough to make sure he's buckled up and in the back seat. Find out more about keeping your kids safe in your vehicle at nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Show them you love them. Keep them safe. Visit nhtsa.gov/the-right seat. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Pedal to the metal. Greased lightning. Burn rubber. Make tracks. Full gas. Whatever you call it, it's speeding. And a heavy foot can cost you a heavy fine. Or more. Speeding is a factor in more than 150,000 crashes every year in Texas, many of them fatal. Slow down, be safe, drive smart, and take it easy. A message from the Texas Department of Transportation.
The Texas Oil and Gas Association weighing in on the sharp rise in the price of oil per barrel and the price of the pump. Association President Todd Staples says the longer the international supply chain is blocked, the Strait of Hormuz, the higher prices will go. The statewide average over $3.40 a gallon. Governor Abbott says China poses cybersecurity threats towards medical patients in Texas. He's directing state agencies and state-owned medical facilities to address potential concerns linked to medical equipment made in China. The El Paso Catholic Diocese filing Chapter 11 bankruptcy amid ongoing lawsuits related to child sex abuse claims. Election day is 8 months away, but State Rep James Talarico with an early lead over both of the Republican contenders in the Senate race. A new public polling policy survey finds Talarico with a 1-point lead over Senator John Cornyn, 2 points over Ken Paxton. With your Texas news headlines, I'm Barbara Schwartz.
Got an old or unused vehicle you need to get rid of? Donate it to the original carsforkids.org. Towing is free, and you'll be helping kids in our communities. Carsforkids.org is the best vehicle donation charity impacting the lives of kids thanks to your vehicle donations. Carsforkids.org picks up vehicles in any condition, and you'll receive a $50 gift card. Don't delay. Donate today.
If you've ever listened to the radio or watched TV and thought, how do they do that? Then stop by the Texas Broadcast Museum. Located in downtown Kilgore, you'll find something that's both educational and a lot of fun. You can even try your hand at being a TV newscaster or a weather person. And if it's been a while since you visited, come on back. We're always finding new treasures. Visit the Texas Broadcast Museum, 416 East Main Street in downtown Kilgore, or look for us on the web at texasbroadcastmuseum.org.
Here's Lubbock's Uplinks weather forecast. A few clouds and scattered showers showing up on Doppler 1 radar from the KMAX Storm Team Weather Lab. That 20% chance will continue through at least midnight as temperatures will drop in the mid-upper 50s. A couple of thunderstorms could produce some strong wind gusts. Tomorrow's temperatures in the upper 70s, 20% chance for rain and windy. Weather is brought to you by Sonic and the new Sonic All-American Smasher. Meteorologist Ron Roberts on Lubbock's official weather station, News Talk KFYO.
Financial news on KFYO.
I'm Ken Loney with Your Money Now. Anthropic has filed a lawsuit against the Trump administration and several federal agencies after it was blacklisted and designated a supply chain risk threatening national security. The filing says, quote, the government cannot wield its power to punish a company for its protected speech. No federal statute authorizes the actions taken here, end quote. Wall Street stocks surged higher today. The Dow Industrials picked up 239 points, ending the session at 47,741. NASDAQ added 308 points. The S&P 500 picked up 56. Microsoft has added a higher price tier for its 365 Office Suite. The new E7 will be available in May for $99 per user per month. It includes Copilot, Intra, identity tools, and a new Agent 365 for managing AI agents. And Adobe is expanding its partnership with Major League Baseball to use AI to support the league's fan engagement efforts, including the planning and production of content. That's Your Money Now.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code SOUND to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code SOUND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code SOUND for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Local events, newsmakers, and information. It's Sunrise LBK on KFYO.
Coming up on Sunrise LBK on Tuesday, Cheryl Isaacs of Coldwell Banker Real Estate going to be here at 7:35. Also, hey, we've got Seinfeld tickets to give away to the show coming up in June. You can beat the box office. Listen for the question of the day, and be caller 123 at 699-5396 with the correct answer, and you'll be in the drawing. Ticket winners all this week on Sunrise LBK.
Empowering West Texas with news that matters. News Talk 95.1 FM, 790 AM, KFYO.
Don't forget about Chad. Find Chad on social media at Chad Hasty Radio on X and Instagram. It's the Chad Hasty Show.
All right, back on the Chad Hasty Show, National Get Over It Day. What do you think people need to get over? See if Nick has anything that he thinks people just need to get over. Get over it, man. It doesn't matter anymore. Just get over it. 806-680-2790. Some updated polling numbers in that Senate race, including in the primary, a new Republican primary runoff. Texas Public Opinion Research by Slingshot Strategies. This is from Patrick Svitek sending us out earlier today. In a two-way race in that runoff, Paxton at 49%. Cornyn at 41%, undecided at 11%. If Trump endorses John Cornyn, Ken Paxton improves +1 to 50%. If Trump endorses Paxton, Ken Paxton gets better by 26 percentage points. So that's the latest on that poll. Not great news for John Cornyn either way. That's why Cornyn would really, he would need Paxton to drop out. Another poll that was released. This is the one that Democrats love. This is the one they want to see. Some of the first polling of a general election race for the U.S. Senate in Texas showing the Democrat candidate has the lead over both Republicans vying for the seat. Texas State Rep James Talarico won the Democrat Party nomination during last week's primary. However, Republicans running for office, incumbent John Cornyn and Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton preparing for a May runoff. Neither of them cracked the 50% threshold during the primary. The poll was conducted by Public Policy Polling, which is, folks, that's a left-leaning firm. So usually you got to give the Democrat, they're usually very, very nice towards the Democrat. They lean towards the Democrat in these, just from history. Yeah, here you go. Republican respondents were 30% Democrat, 41% Republican, 30% Independent. The poll asking the questions about who they would like to see matched up. When it came to favorability, more people had a favorable opinion of Talarico than either Cornyn or Paxton. However, more people saw Paxton as unfavorable than Cornyn. The poll also asked who they would vote for in two different scenarios, Cornyn versus Talarico and Paxton versus Talarico. In both cases, more people said they would vote for the Democrat than the Republican. Of course, what they don't put in the story is the actual numbers. But in one poll, it was a virtual tie. Talarico up 1 percentage point on top of Cornyn, which I don't buy. I don't buy that at all. On the other one, it was, I believe, 53 to 47%, which I don't buy that one either. I'm sorry. I don't, the more and more people are starting to figure out that James Talarico is not this moderate, all shucks kind of guy. And a lot of this is, yes, playing out on social media, which is not the real world, but then this audio is going to get out, and there's going to be a lot of money tied to this, where James Talarico is going to have to answer to people about how when asked who is someone that you love that is not related to you and not a friend, and he says the transgendered children. I mean, come on. You don't say your dog. You don't say your first thought is the trans children that are among us. That's who I love. Okay. Just reeks of politics. This guy who says that God is non-binary, that the Bible allows for abortion, that the Bible encourages abortion, that Jesus was not masculine, that Jesus was a feminist. Yeah, this is what James Talarico is out there preaching every single day. Yeah, he wants to be the preacher man. He's out there telling people this garbage, this filth that's out there. And it probably does resonate with some folks. I'm sure it does. You know, this idea that you can do no wrong, that there is no wrong in the world. Well, except if you're a Republican. You know, if you're a white Christian Republican, well, that's the bad Christianity. If you join in with Talarico Christianity, then that's the one that is all shucks, all happy. Everybody, everybody is just fine. But if you're the Democrats, and even if you're the Cornyn campaign, the one thing that you want to see, at least during the primary, is Ken Paxton getting beat bad by James Talarico in these polls, because then it just reinforces what you've been saying, which is the issue of electability. And the question that comes up more often is, do voters care about that? Do you care about electability? Is that something you look at when you go to the polls in a primary and decide, who am I going to vote for? Am I going to vote for someone who aligns with what I want? Am I going to vote for someone who aligns with the values I want them to fight for? Or do I want them to align with who I think is actually going to be able to beat the Democrat in November? I don't think most people look at the issue of electability. And in fact, we've got new data out today showing that that's the case, that most people do not actually look at who is the most electable candidate. They want somebody who is going to fight for them. And that's not a bad way of looking at things. Because at the end of the day, when the primary is over, Republicans are going to have to come together and elect our guy. There's a lot to defend in Washington, D.C., a lot that Republicans are going to have to defend. And you're going to have fewer and fewer Republicans in Washington, D.C. after this midterm election. So you're going to have some fighters. You're going to have people who will put their foot down and actually cause some trouble in Washington, D.C. You can't just keep sending people back that will give in to everybody. I think that's how Republican primary voters are feeling right now. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. When we come back, your phone calls, your text messages, and much more.
The Chad Hasty Show can be heard all over West Texas. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Tune into News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO in Lubbock. News Talk 940 in Amarillo. News Talk 94.7 and 1470 KYYW in Abilene. And in Wichita Falls on News Talk 96.3 and 1290. The Chad Hasty Show. Make it a part of your drive home. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
My mom has taken up going to the park to practice yoga.
My dad's going to a club, but not a book club, a salsa club.
Finding new hobbies comes with age.
My mom has started getting lost and not knowing where she's going.
Becoming lost or disoriented doesn't. Confusion with time or place may be a sign of Alzheimer's. An early diagnosis can help improve the quality of life for your loved one. Learn the warning signs of Alzheimer's at 10signs.org. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
Add the KFYO text line to your contacts and voice your opinion during our local shows. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. News Talk 95.1 and 790. And on the KFYO app.
Saving you money, I'm Hillary Barsky. If you're thinking about taking out a personal loan, there's some things you need to know before you apply. Personal loans are popular because home equity loans require collateral to secure the debt. Personal loans do not. Personal loans also have the benefit of fixed interest rates, faster approval times, and they typically have to be repaid in 2 to 7 years. Plus, you can get a personal loan whether or not you own a home. The first thing you need to know is that the better your credit score and financial situation, the lower the rate you'll likely pay. Generally, a 740 plus credit score or a score in the mid 700s and above will give someone the best terms on a personal loan. When applying for a personal loan, make sure you're using it for a need as opposed to a want, like a vacation. For example, a need for a personal loan might help you save a lot of money by paying off high-cost credit card debt at a lower rate and a lot less time than only making minimum payments. Saving you money, Hillary Barsky, Fox News.
Back on the Chad Hasty Show. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Chad didn't pay any attention over the weekend and Trump endorsed any either of the candidates. No, Trump hasn't made his endorsement yet, which I'm kind of wondering if he's backing off of that now and just going to allow it to play out and and see what happens, which I think would be the smartest idea, to be honest. I don't see either of these candidates dropping out, do you? I don't see Ken Paxton being like, okay. All right. Well, thank you, Mr. President. All right, I'm done. See you later. So to just, not run for AG again and just be asked by the president to step aside. Okay. Same thing for John Cornyn. You've been in the Senate 24 years and Trump says, okay, time for you to step aside. You're like, no, I don't think so. I mean, it's really hard for me to believe that either of these guys would drop out. They probably shouldn't. It's really not up to Trump. It shouldn't be up to Trump. It should be up to the voters of Texas. Again, Trump's going to be there the next 2 years. Whoever's elected is going to be there at least 6. I think Cornyn has alluded that this would be his final time, but there's no promises on that. And for Paxton, who knows how long he'd be there if elected. So again, it's something that incumbency has a lot of power, and they're going to be there for 6 years at least. This is about more than just Trump, and that's why. For Trump, I appreciate the desire to get involved. I appreciate that he wants to pay attention to this race and that he wants the best person who can win to win this thing. But I personally believe whoever the Republican nominee is will be able to beat the Democrat. If we can't beat James Talarico. And I say we, I mean the Republican Party. If the Republican Party can't beat James Talarico, then it was going to end at some point anyway pretty soon. James Talarico is not a great candidate. He's not a great lawmaker. He's not a great politician. He's not talented in any way that is just wowing to anyone. I mean, even the media doesn't love this guy as much as they loved Beto O'Rourke. It's close, but not as much as they loved Beto O'Rourke. Now, they may get there. They might get there. But right now, it's not as all in as they were with Beto O'Rourke. The Talarico guy is majorly flawed, a majorly flawed candidate. And he is somebody who, again, is part of a very unpopular party. We'll get to a story a little bit later on about just how unpopular the Democrat Party is and members of the Democrat Party, just how unpopular they really are. But people are remembering, the American people, they have not forgotten how absolute crazy the Democrat Party is in America. They haven't forgotten that. And with James Talarico, this guy he's done what a lot of folks his age, and a little bit older, a little bit younger, they've lived their entire lives online. You know, when they thought they were cool, posted stuff. And so there's a treasure trove of audio. Before this guy had any type of thought process to run for U.S. Senate, and he hasn't deleted any of it. In fact, he's very proud of it. But there's a treasure trove of audio and pictures and different quotes, different speeches, different quote-unquote sermons that this guy has given where it shows just how far left he is. And all of that's going to come out. All of that is going to come out during the election. And it's going to be devastating for the Democrats because we're not at that. Texas is not there. Again, you may not like Ken Paxton. You may not always like John Cornyn. You may not always like these two. But they are so much better than James Talarico when it comes to preserving what we care about in this state. Either of these Republicans would be so much better than what James Talarico brings to the table. James Talarico would yes, be an absolute disaster. And he would partner with the AOCs. He would, I'm sure he would become a member of the squad. I mean, he kind of seems like one of those guys who would absolutely join with the squad, if you know what I mean. He's just kind of, he comes across that way, right? He's going to talk to you about masculinity. He's going to talk to you about how you can't mansplain anything, how you shouldn't mansplain anything. He'll join in with the gals, gossip with them for a little bit. Yeah. That seems like James Talarico. I don't know. So you have squad member Talarico, who in no way represents the values of Texas. But again, they're trying to make this guy a moderate. And all you have to do is look at some of the quotes and some of the things that he has said in the past, and you'll quickly realize this guy's no moderate. This guy's no moderate. He's not someone I would go and listen to on a Sunday morning. That's for sure. 806-680-2790. Coming up in the next hour, we've got a lot more to get to, including the Democrat brand in trouble nationwide. Got that. Got some, just how where Trump is polling compared to some heavy hitter Democrats. You may be surprised. All that and much more when we come back on the Chad Hasty Show.
The Chad Hasty Show, a presentation of Texas Town Square Media Network. The views and opinions expressed during the Chad Hasty Show are not necessarily the views of this station, staff, management, advertisers, or Town Square Media.
Hey, it's Buck Sexton. Join me and Clay as we sound off every Sunday afternoon from 2 to 5 on News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO. KFYO and K236CP Lubbock and on the KFYO app.
It's 6 o'clock in Texas.
He says the U.S. is close to finishing. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump talking about the military action in Iran at a news conference in Florida.
We're very proud to be involved in this, and it's going to be ended soon. And if it starts up again, they'll be hit even harder.
The president says Iran was ready to strike Israel and other countries in the Middle East, saying again that if the U.S. didn't act, Iran would have attacked the U.S. or Israel. On the Russia-Ukraine war, the president says he spoke today with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
There's tremendous hatred between President Putin and President Zelensky. They can't seem to get it together.
The president says they also discussed the Middle East and says he told Putin he could be helpful by ending the attacks on Ukraine. Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer says Americans don't want a repeat of the wars in Afghanistan and Iraq.
Americans simply don't want that. And the brutal Iranian regime knows we don't want it either. So they won't be incentivized to negotiate.
Last week, both the House and Senate voted down a resolution that would have limited the president's military action in Iran. Federal charges filed against two men who authorities say threw homemade bombs near the New York City mayor's residence. Ibrahim Qayyumi and Amir Balat were arrested Saturday. They had an initial court appearance this afternoon.
The defendants are charged with attempting to provide material support to ISIS, using a weapon of mass destruction, transporting explosive materials, interstate transportation and receipt of explosive materials, and unlawful possession of destructive devices.
Police Commissioner Jessica Tisch, U.S. Attorney Jay Clayton says the men said they wanted to do something more destructive than the Boston Marathon bombing, which killed 3 people in 2013. America is listening to Fox News.
Local events, newsmakers, and information. It's Sunrise LBK on KFYO.
Coming up on Sunrise LBK on Tuesday. Cheryl Isaacs, Coldwell Banker Real Estate, going to be here at 7:35. Also, hey, we've got Seinfeld tickets to give away to the show coming up in June. You can beat the box office. Listen for the question of the day, and be caller 123 at 699-5396 with the correct answer, and you'll be in the drawing. Ticket winners all this week on Sunrise LBK.
South Plains weather forecast, a few clouds and scattered showers are showing up on Doppler 1 radar from the KMAX Storm Team Weather Lab. That 20% chance will continue through at least midnight as temperatures will drop in the mid-upper 50s. A couple of thunderstorms could produce some strong wind gusts. Tomorrow's temperatures in the upper 70s, 20% chance for rain and windy. Weather is brought to you by Sonic and the new Sonic All-American Smasher. Meteorologist Ron Roberts on Lubbock's official weather station, News Talk KFYO.
Broadcasting from the great state of Texas, news and views with a Lone Star perspective. You can sound off during the show by sending Chad a text at 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Or call in at 1-800-687-0790. Now, here's Chad Hasty.
Welcome back to the Chad Hasty Show, final hour of the evening. Still plenty of time to hear from you. You can send in your thoughts on the text line, 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. You can weigh in, sound off on really any of the topics. Anything that we've been talking about this evening, feel free to weigh in on that. Also, let's see. Oh, yeah, you can text in. You can give us a call, 1-800-687-0790. Nick's over there, the first voice you hear from when you dial. It looks like he's into his mid-show snack. That's where he's at right now after he had family in from out of town and showed him all the big things to do in Lubbock, including the grocery stores that we have. And not sure if he took them to any of the dollar stores that we have. That might have been something new to show off as well. Not exactly a Chamber of Commerce type tour that Nick did of the city of Lubbock. Have you ever taken your parents on a real tour? I like how I pulled like a real waiter's move here as you're eating food while we're on the air and you're chewing now. I asked you to come onto the microphone. Have you ever given a tour, a proper tour of Lubbock to any of your family?
I have.
Yeah,
I have done that. Yeah, I came here in 2017.
Yeah,
and it was about a couple months in that family came to visit.
Okay,
and we did the grand tour. We hit the hot spots.
What would that be? What would you?
Well, you've got the Prairie Dog Town.
Okay,
everybody loves that place.
Oh, everyone loves Prairie Dog Town.
I hear. Buddy Holly, Buddy Holly Hall. I think we went there. I've been there many times, but I think we went there a couple times.
Okay.
Just showed them around. Went to the Texas Tech campus.
Right.
Showed them the other, the other schools, South Plains and all that. And just kind of, a brief little overview.
Yeah, just a drive around.
Exactly.
A nice little drive around.
Yeah. So they've seen it all.
Well, okay. That's good.
Yeah. I don't just sequester them
to
where we live.
Well.
And that's about it.
It kind of sounds like you did.
This most recent one, yeah, we did that.
Yeah, and just be like, why don't you cook for me?
Yeah. Well,
how about that?
We cooked. So as you said, my mom was up here, and we cooked dinner almost every day.
Is there a favorite that, like, when your mom, like when you go and visit your parents, or maybe your parents visit here, is there like a meal where you're like, I hope mom will cook this?
You know, you bring that up every year.
Yeah.
It's been a while. This was when we were kids. She would always ask us for your birthday meal.
Right.
I'll cook something, keep it within reason, but what do you want?
Yeah.
If it's something I can do, I'll try to do it. And you know what mine is? Every single year, it's steak, mashed potatoes.
Nice.
And some loose corn.
Yeah, loose corn.
Loose corn, not the cobbed.
Yeah, you don't want the cob.
No. Loose corn. So and she makes it. Or at least she used to.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's probably my go-to. The old steak and corn.
That's good.
Everyone's favorite.
That's good. Hey, I didn't know. You could do the like a steak and lobster, mom, please.
A little surf and turf,
mom. A little surf and turf, please. Thank you.
And I think every family, for the most part, you've got that go-to meal.
Sure.
That go-to, mom makes it best.
Yeah.
Comfort.
Oh, absolutely.
Meal. Yeah. Everyone's got one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's good. I was just checking in. Just wanted to see if if that was the case. How about this? For those who are looking for some good, if you're a sports fan. If you haven't been watching the World Baseball Classic, it has been fantastic, and it goes for at least another week or so. But it's been fantastic. And tonight, you've got Team USA versus Mexico playing in Houston, and that is going to be a really good matchup tonight. I think 7 p.m. is the first pitch on Fox. And Team USA has been crushing it. Mexico, they've been crushing it, and so it should be a big festive atmosphere down in Houston. They're playing where the Astros play. I still call it Minute Maid Park. It's not Minute Maid Park anymore. It's like Dakin Park or something. I'm not real sure, but it's I still call it Minute Maid. But it should be a fantastic matchup this evening. So if you're a baseball fan, if you're just somebody who likes to root for your nation, hey, there you go. You've got Team USA Baseball tonight on Fox taking on Mexico, which Mexico totally dismantled Brazil last night, 15-0 or 16-0. And they did a run rule on them. It was pretty funny to see, actually. But the fans of Mexico, they were fired up and having a party last night. And I can only suspect that it will be a party-like atmosphere in Houston at the stadium this evening at 7 p.m. When those two teams get going. So some good baseball on television this evening. If you're a fan of baseball, if you're a fan of Team USA, then check that out this evening and on Fox. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. This side of the hill today, roughly 3 and 4 opposed sending U.S. ground troops into Iran. That according to a new survey, new Quinnipiac University poll, does not support U.S. sending ground troops into Iran as the conflict in the Middle East hits 10 days on Monday. The survey released today found 20% of respondents support such a move, while 74% oppose it. Just 3% of Democrats, 19% of independents, and 37% of Republicans, that sounds actually kind of high to me, support putting boots on the ground. More than half of those surveyed Republicans, in fact, are against such action, including some members of Trump's MAGA base. Former Rep. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Tucker Carlson have criticized the president and the Israeli prime minister for launching the war. Trump has left the door open to putting boots on the ground in Iran, telling reporters Saturday he would possibly could do so. Quote, it would have to be for a very good reason, the president said on Air Force One. I would have to say if we ever did that, Iran would be so decimated that they wouldn't be able to fight on the ground level. 7 U.S. service members on American bases in the Middle East have died from Iranian retaliation since operations began on February 28th. On Monday, the president told the New York Post he's nowhere near sending troops in to safeguard nuclear material in Iran. The New York Times reported Saturday that Iran could recover enriched uranium buried in the underground site, which was bombed by the U.S. last summer. The Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth also refused to rule out deploying ground troops during a 60 Minutes interview that aired on Sunday. Quote, we would be completely unwise if we did not reserve the right to take any particular option, whether it included boots on the ground or no boots on the ground, Hegseth told CBS News' Major Garrett, and he's right on that. You don't want to give away the game plan. You don't want to say yes or no. Boots will be on the ground. I would think that it would take it would have to be something major for U.S. troops to be on the ground in Iran. I mean, it would be something big would have to happen in order for that event to occur. I don't think Trump wants to. I don't think he wants to send in ground forces. I really don't. I think that he is hoping that the Iranian people will rise up, that the Iranian people will start marching in the streets, and that they will they'll take power themselves, that they will show that they want to take their country over. You know, we've seen these protests in the past where they have begged for the Americans to come in and help, begged for the Americans to come in and help them overthrow the government. Well, that's happening. But the Iranian people at some point, it's their country. It's their country, and they're going to have to do something about it. You know, they're going to have to lead this revolution if there's going to be a revolution. The U.S. is not very good at installing leaders in the Middle East. We're not very good at it. And so that's why it's going to have to be the Iranian people that ultimately decide this is the path we want to go. And it's not going to be pretty. It'll probably be ugly for a little bit. There's probably going to be issues. But, you know, I thought it was interesting. You had Bill Maher bring up, I guess it was maybe Friday night, Saturday, whenever his show airs. And he was talking about Iraq, and he said, you know, Iraq's doing pretty good right now. It took a while, but Iraq they're doing okay. They have elections. They've got a government. They have a media. You don't really hear about Iraq. And the fact is, if the U.S. would not have taken out Saddam Hussein and taken out the sons, well, you'd still have a brutal dictatorship in Iraq. Now, you can make the argument all you want to and have the debate whether or not it was the right thing to do, and that's fine and a worthy debate to have. But while some of this does take time to occur, ultimately it's going to be up for the people to have their say and direct their government. 806-680-2790. When we come back, we'll get to the text line, your phone calls as well.
The Titan of Texas Talk Radio, The Chad Hasty Show.
Talking with newsmakers and about the issues that matter to you. The Chad Hasty Show, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Chad's show is also digital with the Chad Hasty Show podcast. The Chad Hasty Show podcast can be downloaded on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, and the Radio On Demand page on KFYO.com. The Chad Hasty Show, all across Texas during your drive home, weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
Nick, this is your phone here in the passenger seat. Look at me.
No, I'm driving.
You got a text. It says, "Yo, dude, your friends are fascinating. Let's text them back."
It can wait.
Sports app. Oh, you gotta see this play.
Later.
Hey, you got invited to a party. We need a RSVP now.
Phone, silence yourself.
Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Talk, text, crash. A message from TxDOT.
All right, back on the Chad AC Show. A couple of text messages coming in. Mike in Abilene, Talarico is a smooth talker, and Americans are not very smart sometimes. That's from Mike in Abilene. That's true. I'm not saying that Talarico's only getting like 10 points or 20 points in the race. It's going to be Talarico's probably going to be in the 40s. He's going to get a lot of folks who will just vote for him because he's a Democrat, obviously. There's going to be some independents that like that he's not a Republican, that he's not a MAGA guy. They're going to like that he's comes across as a moderate type figure. And like you said, he's a smooth talker. But I don't think all that adds up to a win just yet. I think that the Republicans are still going to turn out more voters. They should turn out more voters than what the Democrats are able to produce. Another texter, Robert in Amarillo, says, I have voted for Cornyn in the past, but I believe Paxton would do a better job. Cornyn has been there long enough. As for Talarico, Beto would be better, and he's a nut job. Well, it's going to be Talarico as the nominee. And I guess what you've got to figure out is who you're going to vote for in the primary. Sounds like you haven't figured out who you're going to have in the runoff election. I think there are a lot of Republicans that are going to have to weigh that. And who do they vote for? And who, there are going to be, yes, I think there will be some who go, okay, is it possible that one of these candidates or the other is going to have an easier time beating Talarico? I can say for the easier time, I think it would probably be John Cornyn. I think in a race between John Cornyn and James Talarico, the Republican would win probably by more percentage points than the Republican would win when it comes to Paxton versus Talarico. But I still think the Republican would win in both cases. I think that Talarico would lose to both Cornyn and to Ken Paxton. For the voters out there, you just have to figure out, okay, which of these guys best represents me? Who do I feel like is going to fight for me? Who do I feel like is going to be the fighter for what I believe is right for Texas? And you go and you cast your ballot that way. And if not enough Republicans get out and vote in the midterm elections, I mean, that's something that's going to be on them. But I don't see that happening. I think that you're still going to have enough Republicans who get out and vote that they should be able to take down the Democrats here in the state. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. Another texter popping up. Let's see, Chad, when it comes to Ken Paxton and James Talarico, I feel like the left will play up the morality debate. It'll be Ken Paxton on trial over and over and over again. Meanwhile, James Talarico will come across as just a nice guy. Your thoughts? That's going to be the goal of the left, yeah. That's what they want. But then again, you look at some of the things that Talarico has said, and I think you put those on trial. And let the people decide. I mean, look, you may not like that Ken Paxton is going through a divorce. You may not like that he allegedly cheated on his wife. You may not like that. On the flip side, you may not care. I mean, look, Donald Trump has had several marriages. Do Republican voters care about that? No. They elected the guy who would do the job. And I think that's how a lot of voters look at Ken Paxton right now, is who's going to get the job done. And one of those jobs is going to be who's going to stand up to the left if Democrats take back the House and Senate, if the Democrats in 2028 win the White House. I mean, that's going to be a big issue. It'll be a big issue. Who's going to do best to defend us? And be a real headache for maybe the left in this country. When we come back, your phone calls, your text. Got a few more text messages to get to. App chat as well. We didn't forget about you. We got your text. We'll get to them when we return on the Chad Hasty Show.
Call in to the Chad Hasty Show at 1-800-687-0790. The Chad Hasty Show, broadcasting on the Texas Town Square Media Network.
Cats are masters at using up their 9 lives, like chasing laser pointers into walls or jumping onto high shelves. But the one thing cats never do, text while driving. So be like a cat and protect your one and only life. Don't text and drive.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Heads up, Texas.
So you don't hit my car when I'm sitting at a stoplight.
Heads up, Texas.
So I can ride my bike safely.
Heads up, Texas.
So I can make it across the street without getting run over.
Heads up, Texas.
So I don't have to write you a ticket.
Heads up, Texas, because driving and using your phone is a bad combination. Talk, text, crash. Brought to you by TxDOT.
Headlines, the Texas Oil and Gas Association weighing in on the sharp rise in the price of oil per barrel and the price of the pump. Their president, Todd Staples, says the longer the international supply chain is blocked, the higher prices will go. The statewide average has been soaring in Texas. The Diocese of El Paso files for Chapter 11 bankruptcy due in part to financial challenges brought on by sexual abuse claims. 12 pending lawsuits based in New Mexico back when they were under the El Paso Diocese. Election day is in November, but State Representative James Talarico with an early lead over both the GOP contenders for the U.S. Senate race. This comes from a new public policy polling survey, finds Talarico with a 1-point lead, 44 to 43% over Senator John Cornyn, 2 points over Ken Paxton, 47 to 45%, and he's got a 6-point advantage in his favorability rating. All 3 Texas NBA teams off tonight. With your Texas news headlines, I'm Barbara Short.
Hurt in a car or truck wreck? Call Frankel & Frankel first. Mark and Scott Frankel, the go-to car and truck wreck attorneys in Texas, have been fighting for your rights for over 25 years. Before becoming personal injury lawyers, they defended insurance companies, so they know all the tricks and tactics insurers use to deny your claim. Trust the experienced, family-owned, and highly awarded Frankel & Frankel to put you first and get the resolution you deserve. And remember, it's a felony for an attorney to reach out to you directly or indirectly via third parties within the first 30 days after an accident. During this period, an attorney may only send a letter. Frankel & Frankel make it easy. From the free consultation to the very first phone call, they handle everything with no out-of-pocket costs. They only get paid when you win. If you or a loved one has been injured, reach out to Frankel & Frankel today at frankelfirm.com. That's F-R-E-N-K-E-L firm.com. Principal office, Dallas, Texas.
Your Lubbock South Plains weather forecast has a few clouds and scattered showers are showing up on Doppler 1 radar from the KMAX Storm Team Weather Lab. That 20% chance will continue through at least midnight as temperatures will drop in the mid-upper 50s. A couple of thunderstorms could produce some strong wind gusts. Tomorrow's temperatures in the upper 70s, 20% chance for rain and windy. Weather is brought to you by Sonic, the new Sonic All-American Smasher. Meteorologist Ron Roberts on Lubbock's official weather station, News Talk KFYO.
Has anybody told you about Coast to Coast AM tonight?
Coast to Coast is one of those programs that deals with strange mysteries. We'll look at Bigfoot. We'll look at UFOs. We'll look at real science. And we'll also look at conspiracies and what it all means to you, the listeners of Coast to Coast AM.
It's the best in overnight talk radio. Coast to Coast AM.
Coast to Coast AM with George Norrie. Tonight at midnight on KFYO.
After 98 years, we're still on the air. This is News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM KFYO.
I'm Anna Eliopoulos with your Fox True Crime Minute. A multi-state manhunt has ended with the arrest of an Iowa man in connection with a triple homicide in Wayne County, Utah. The suspect, 22-year-old Ivan Miller, was taken into custody in Colorado. He is accused of killing 3 women in what investigators are describing as crimes of convenience. Authorities say 86-year-old Margaret Oldroyd was his first victim, and her body was found hidden in a cellar on her property. Police report Miller then stole Oldroyd's vehicle and drove to a trailhead where he allegedly killed 2 hikers, 65-year-old Linda Dewey and her 34-year-old niece, Natalie Graves. The women were discovered by their husbands when they failed to return from their walk. He faces 3 counts of aggravated murder, among other charges. Wayne County officials state there is no connection between the suspect and any of the victims. There's more on this story at foxnews.com or subscribe to the Fox True Crime Podcast. I'm Anna Eliopoulos with your Fox True Crime Minute.
The news and talk of West Texas. News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
From the Panhandle to the South Plains to the Big Country, it's the Chad Hasty Show.
All right, back on the Chad Hasty Show. Thank you very much for tuning in today. Hope you're having a wonderful one. Let's see. A couple of reports out there. Trump was asked by a reporter earlier, are there any points of disagreement between yourself and J.D. Vance about Iran? Trump said, I don't think so. He was philosophically a little bit different than me. He was maybe less enthusiastic about going, but he was quite enthusiastic. There was a story out earlier at NBC. The Iran war elevates Marco Rubio in Trump's 2028 succession jockeying. In the early hours of February 28th, President Trump and his administration joined Israel in launching a wave of strikes on Iran that would reverberate across the Middle East. So that night, he was schmoozing to Mar-a-Lago with some of the top administration officials, political donors, with a pressing question, Marco or JD? With a group of roughly 25 GOP donors, including New England Patriots donor Robert Kraft and billionaire Georgia gubernatorial candidate Rick Jackson, Trump asked the room who they would prefer he support for president in 2028. Attendees overwhelmingly indicated Marco Rubio through their cheering, according to two people who were at the event. Quote, it was almost unanimous for Marco, said a person in attendance who, like others in the article, was granted anonymity to speak. Quote, yeah, that's about right. Second attendee said about the informal Trump ball. It was clear, at least that night. Another person in the room characterized the response as more evenly split between Rubio and Vance. A small gathering in Florida, Rubio's home state, doesn't necessarily mean that Rubio's the new favorite over the vice president for 2028. Quote, the Mar-a-Lago donor crew are not JD people. A former Trump administration official said he did not get picked to be vice president because the Mar-a-Lago crowd, if you remember, that crowd was lobbying the president to pick Marco. So I'd say stuff like that's a bit gamed, the former official said. If there were a poll taken tomorrow, I bet JD is still up by about 40 points or whatever it is. Not the first time Trump has quizzed those in his orbit about how he should engage in the forthcoming political fight to replace him as the Republican standard bearer, but it's another instance of the dynamic and indication that the president's plans to play a big role in the early interest in the future of the party. Trump appears to be relishing his potential to be kingmaker, as he is in so many other Republican primaries, in a race that could potentially pit the top members of his own administration against each other. All this is a reminder of how fluid things are in Trump's orbit and how quickly the president's thinking can shift. So you've got Marco Rubio, who maybe a couple of years ago, not many people would have thought he would be, well, one of Trump's favorite people, but he's quickly become one of Trump's favorite people. And it's, you know, that they got over the whole election from 2016. They got over it. They worked together. Do I think that Trump and Rubio agree on every single little thing? Absolutely not. I don't think J.D. Vance and Trump agree on every single little thing. But they're doing what's in the best interest of America. And I think that Trump legitimately likes J.D. Vance. I think he legitimately likes Marco Rubio. And I think that for Republicans, you've got two pretty good choices just right there. J.D. Vance or Marco Rubio. You got two very good choices. And so, going into 2028, now Rubio has said that if J.D. Vance runs, he's not going to run. I don't know about that. I like Rubio. I like J.D. Vance. I think Marco Rubio has done a fantastic job. Just an absolute fantastic job as Secretary of State. He really has. And he's taken on many roles. He has been put in charge of a lot of different items. And so I think that, yeah, he would be a good candidate. You know, there was a interview. Who had it? Hannity's got this new podcast that gets released tomorrow where he's doing some more of the longer form interviews and interviewing people that are interested across the political and business spectrum, all this kind of stuff. And his first guest is Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith said, yeah, I'm not going to run for president. You know, if I've got to give up my money, I'm not going to run for president. What I tell you, he's not going to run. But even Stephen A. said, you know, I may have to look at Marco Rubio as a choice. And this is Stephen A. Smith. He's he says that he's fiscally conservative. He's fiscally conservative, but when it comes to other issues, he's a little bit more Democrat on those issues. But on the fiscal side of things, he's a conservative. But he looks at Marco Rubio, he's like, that's an adult in the room. That's a guy who is he's got a big brain. He obviously is very high up, very well thought of among both the left and the right. I don't know about the left, but according to Stephen A., hey, this is a very well liked guy. And for Republicans, I think you look at Rubio, and there may be some concern about past statements made, but I think you look at what he has done as senator and as Secretary of State. Look what he's done while serving Trump and serving the nation. I got to tell you, Rubio's got to be one of the top, obviously one of the top two that you look at. And I don't think you'd have a bad ticket if you had a Rubio Vance or Vance Rubio ticket. I don't think it would be a bad ticket. 806-680-2790. That's 806-680-2790. When we come back, your text messages, your phone calls, we'll wrap things up.
The Chad Hasty Show can be heard all over West Texas. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m. Tune into News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO in Lubbock. News Talk 940 in Amarillo. News Talk 94.7 and 1470 KYYW in Abilene. And in Wichita Falls on News Talk 96.3 and 1290. The Chad Hasty Show. Make it a part of your drive home. Weekdays from 5 to 7 p.m.
Do you have kids? Then you know the importance of properly installing their car seats and buckling them up correctly to protect them from injuries. Unfortunately, most parents think their children are safely buckled, but that's not always the case. Visit SaveMeWithASeat.org to easily sign up for a free car seat inspection near you. Keep your kids safe with properly installed car seats and by buckling them up correctly so you can save them with a seat. Brought to you by TxDOT.
What's better than listening to KFYO first thing in the morning? Well, listening to Fox News on KFYO first thing in the morning. Don't miss the latest news affecting the local and federal government, as well as the goings-on in that little white building called the White House. With Fox News every day, right here on News Talk 95.1 FM and 790 AM. KFYO.
Make KFYO your number one preset on AM and FM and put the KFYO app on your phone or tablet's home screen. The news and talk of West Texas. News Talk 95.1 and 790 KFYO.
Chad Hasty Show. Thank you very much for tuning in as we begin to wrap up another edition of the program. Got a few minutes left here, of course, where you can check in and sound off on any of the issues that we've gotten to today. Okay, well, we're going to leave behind this story. Save it for tomorrow. Headline: Trump more popular than Kamala Harris in Gavin Newsom, according to a new survey. And a new NBC News survey released today, 41% of respondents said they had a favorable view of the president. Only 34% of those who responded had a favorable view of Kamala Harris, compared to 27% of Gavin Newsom, two politicians frequently touted as Democrat candidates for the 2028 presidential race, but neither has committed to a run. Yeah, the Democrats, they've got an issue. They've got a favorability issue. They've got a name recognition issue. People are still mad at the Democrat brand. They don't like the Democrat brand. The Republican brand isn't great, but the Democrat brand right now is just trashed. Just absolutely trashed. And that might make for an interesting midterm. Let's see. How about this? This is out of the Washington Post. See if Nick agrees with this or not. A new study that has been done. Difficult people in your life might make you age faster. You think so, Nick? You agree with that? Spending time with a difficult person can impact your mood in the moment, but over time, these challenging social interactions may also have a detrimental effect on your physical health, according to new research, and possibly making you age faster. The study, which was funded by the National Institute on Aging, published in Proceedings of National Academy of Sciences, looked at the health impact of hasslers, people, hasslers, people who the researchers defined as those who create problems or make life more difficult. It could be a spouse. It could be a spouse that makes your life a little bit more difficult. While positive relationships have been linked to healthier, longer lives, hasslers seem to have the opposite effect, increasing chronic stress and elevating biomarkers associated with aging. The study also found that some people are more likely to report knowing hasslers, including women, and those in poorer health. So the women are being hassled out there, Nick. You think there are a bunch of women out there that they're listening to this going, yeah, I'm hassled. Yeah, I'm hassled.
You know what? When you first said this, the first thought that came to me was, of course.
Yeah.
This seems obvious. You live a more stressed life.
Yeah.
Isn't that what they always say? The more
right.
stressed you are, you can age, and it's not just you get more wrinkles or something, but it's also with your brain as well.
Yeah.
I know the more stress obviously is going to take a bigger toll on your brain. So you could mentally age a lot faster too. That's why, you see those pictures of kids in like the coal mines,
right?
Back 150 years ago or something. They look like they're 45 years old.
That's true.
And they're 12.
Yeah.
And they're smoking 10 cigarettes a day, and they look horrible because of
the life.
Yeah. Oh boy, take me back.
Yeah.
Take me back to the mines.
That's right.
Yeah. No, I think this is, I don't want to say obvious, but not surprising.
No, I don't think, and I think that. The aging thing. I mean, obviously, if you're living with a hassler, if you're living with somebody,
you got to make some decisions. Yeah,
oh boy, oh boy, and there's probably some people right now going, "Yeah, I live with a hassler." I'm not gonna. But it can be a drag.
Yeah.
It can be a drag on you.
A real bummer.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
it can. So stop being a hassler.
There you go.
Yeah,
to all hasslers.
That's right. Stop it.
Stop it.
Yeah. Just stop. And now you have research. Now you can take this back to somebody and be like, "Look, you're making me die,"
and they'll love that.
Yeah.
I think hasslers in general will love when you bring evidence-based research to back your claim.
That's right.
I think they'd love that.
Honey, I asked you to fix the door the other day. Hey! Look at that study.
I'm feeling hassled.
Yeah. You are killing me. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Come on.
You know what? They also recently said poor sleep schedules. I don't know if you saw this.
Bad sleep.
Yeah, poor sleep. That can really affect your
everything.
Oh, everything.
Yeah.
But especially your mental age.
Yeah.
If you get 1 to 3 hours sporadically.
Yes.
That's real bad. You might as well be living with a hassler at that point.
And look, I'm bad at this. I'm so bad. I need to. How many times do you get your cell phone out and you're like, I'm somebody who, if I wake up in the middle of the night, and I do, I'll make and then I'll get on my phone. I'll be like, what's going on? What's happening? And
you can't do that.
I know. I try to stay away from it, and it just makes me stay up a little bit later.
Yeah.
And I don't get good sleep. But if there'll be some nights where I'm like, okay, my phone's over here.
No.
I'm going to leave it there.
Eyes closed.
Just go to sleep. And it's great. Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, for I want to say, 50 plus years? I mean, people have been falling asleep with the TV on. It happens. Or maybe you turn it off right before you go to sleep. It always happens. And now in this day and age, everybody's got their phones. Yeah. Like you said, maybe you're scrolling or you're watching a video or something.
Yeah.
I think it's just so common now. I don't know anybody who, closes a book they're reading, takes off their glasses, says goodnight, turns the lamp off, and goes to sleep.
That's me, actually. It's pretty funny. And I put my little sleeping cap on.
Yeah, there you go. And then you snore, and the little ball in the cap goes back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah,
so, I'll be in bed, and I've got my tea.
Sure.
It's right there.
Your nighttime tea.
It's nighttime tea.
Uncaffeinated.
And I'm in my robe.
Yeah.
And
after a bubble bath.
Yeah. and so I've got my little nightcap on. And I'm reading. I take my glasses off, put them to the side, and I just fall, just right back, just like that. It's that simple. Boy, wouldn't that be nice? It does. That actually sounds great. Yeah, that sounds fantastic. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Stay safe. Stay healthy. God bless you all. We'll see you back here tomorrow at 5 p.m.
The Chad Hasty Show, a presentation of Texas Town Square Media Network. The views and opinions expressed during the Chad Hasty Show are not necessarily the views of this station, staff, management, advertisers, or Town Square Media.